Get up and go, get up and go, get up and go back home. Hi everybody, Beatle Dave. For this little video, I thought we'd have a little bit of fun and look at one of the best sort of like piss takes, basically, or Mickey takes, whatever you want to call it, of the Beatles legend, the Rutles. I say Mickey take or piss take. If you actually ever watch the film, the actual history and some of the scenes and everything are very, very close to the proper Beatles thing. I think the Beatles liked it. I think John Lennon liked it, and George is even in it, in his interview at one point. So yeah, we're going to look at the album. This is the album which came out in 1978, and even on the front cover, you'd be mistaken for thinking it's a Beatles' greatest hits until you actually look at it, because the cover work and everything is very, very similar with the Beatles, obviously, although that's called Meet the Rutles. Magical Mystery Tour, which is called Tragical History Tour. Let It Be, or than the World of the Rutles, it was Let It Rot. And then Sergeant Pepper is Sergeant Rutles Darts Club Band. Yeah. Brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. On the back, you get some of the stills from the film. I say film, I don't think it was actually ever released in the theatre. I think it was actually made for American television, wasn't it? And then I'll read you the bit of hype. I have to put my granddad glasses on. Please excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. The Rutles story is a legend, a living legend that will live a lifetime long after lots of other living legends have died. The Warner Brothers, Stan and Reg, are proud to present this tribute to the semi-legendary group who made the 60s what they are today, the Prefab Four, Dirk, Stig, Nasty and Barry. Well, Dirk was supposed to be Paul McCartney, and then the film is played by, what's his name? Eric Idle. Nasty is supposed to be the John Lennon character, and he's played by Neil Innes, who was actually in the Bonzo Dog Doodah band and also did a lot of work with Monty Python. It is basically a bit like a Monty Python film, to be honest, but at least it has got a story, a beginning, a middle, and an end, sort of. I've got quite a few famous people in it. Like I say, it has got George Harrison in it at one point. On January the 21st, 1959, the Rutles story began at 43 Egg Lane, Liverpool, where Ron Nasty and Dirk McQuickley, so it's Ron Nasty, not Nasty, it's Ron Nasty, first bumped to each other. Ron invited Dirk to help him stand up. And Barry won, who's like the Ringo Starr character, although it's called originally Barrington Womble, isn't it? And then Stig O'Hara, who is like the George Harrison character. It's very, very cleverly done, to be honest. It is really, really cleverly done. Interview there with Mick Jagger and Paul Simon, which actually are in the film as well. That's just like what they say in the film. That's other bits from the. That is very, very close to the Hamburg pictures, isn't it? To be honest, how they got away with it at the time, I don't really know. The only thing I can think of is at the time when this came out in 1978. Apple was all but gone, wasn't it? Obviously John had retired. Paul was like busy touring the world with Wings and things like that. Onto Ringo, was doing his own sort of thing. George was sort of like a big fan of Monty Python anyway, so I think he just thought, yeah, let's debunk some of the myth sort of thing around the Beatles. But it never really claims to be the Beatles, does it? It's always the Rutles. I've always liked this film. To be honest, I had the album before I had the film. I'd seen an old clip on BBC Two years and years ago, before we even had VCRs, and it showed you a clip of Rutland Weekend, which was an Eric Idle like solo project after Monty Python, and it showed you them singing "I Must Be in Love," doing a parody of the Beatles. "I Must Be in Love," and that like got me to buy this. And then I didn't even know that there was a film that existed, so I got this. It's a gatefold sleeve. This isn't in. It's in okay condition, but you know it is starting to show its age. You also got a booklet. Again, some of the photos are very, very close to the Beatles, aren't they? You know, All You Need Is Cash, because I think the film was called The Rutles, and then starring All You Need Is Cash, if I remember rightly. So you've got Leggy Mountbatten, who is the Brian Epstein character. You've got them playing at the Cavern Club. So it's very, very close, isn't it, to the real thing. Rutlemania, Merseybeat, Rutles Top Pole, Ron Nasty's first book, How to Meet Ed. Life, the Rutles Hit America, and Ned Sullivan Show. The Rutles in A Hard Day's Rut. The Rutles in Ouch, so that's supposed to be A Hard Day's Night and Help. Ouch, you break my heart, ouch, don't be sad, ouch. Like I say, if you haven't ever seen the film, I think you can actually watch it on YouTube as well. Ron Nasty claims the Rutles are bigger than God. Sergeant Pepper type things on. Tragical History Tour. Yellow Submarine Sandwich. Shabby Road. Let It Rot. And now they're singing Get Up and Go. Now, I don't know how true it is, but I did hear a rumour that this film was all but completed and they'd like done some like screening somewhere. I think John Lennon actually saw him singing Get Up and Go. And if you ever see it, that is the closest it actually gets to proper like being the Beatles, because it's virtually a copy of them on the rooftop singing Get Back. Get up and go back home. And I think John actually said to me, yeah, I love your film, but you know, I think that's a bit too close to the mark, and don't be surprised if Paul like sues you or asks for that bit to be took out of the film. I mean, luckily it wasn't, and it is a highlight of the film. So yeah, you know, in some ways this, not trying to slag the film off, because I do enjoy the film, but that is actually in one way looks a bit better than what the film did. The film has, when they're doing the bits where they're supposed to be the Rutles, that hasn't like dated at all, because obviously when they made it, it was set in the past. So if you know, that's okay sort of thing. Eric Idle also plays an interviewer, which sometimes that does come across a bit stupid in some ways, but it is part of the film. Like I say, there's a lot of famous people in it, only like cameos. Ron Wood's in it. Barry Cry's in it. You know, so there's like Gwen Taylor, can you remember her from Duty Free and Heartbeat fame? She's in it. So yeah, it is good. I think one of the funniest things is when the John Lennon character gets involved with the Yoko Ono character. All right. So this is just my opinion, so don't start shouting at me or anything saying, oh, you can't say that. But so John Lennon's called Ron Nasty, and the Yoko Ono character is called Chastity, right? So it's Nasty and Chastity, right? And at one point it goes, oh, Chastity's father was a something or other who's greatest greatest claim to fame was inventing World War II or something like that. So making out she was like Adolf Hitler's daughter, basically. Brilliant film, honestly. You've got to take it for what it is. It is a comedy. A bit like what Spinal Tap was a few years later. You know it's not real sort of thing, but actually with this, it does take you in because they do film around Liverpool and in London and places like that. So like I say, the bit on the rooftop is very, very close to being. You've got to look twice, sort of thing. If you didn't know, if you just was walking past and you saw that playing, you would actually think it was the Beatles. Although it isn't because the songs aren't the Beatles, are they? So this is the inner sleeve for the album, which advertises other albums released on Rutles. It's a made-up film, isn't it? They've got into a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? To put a lot of work into that to make it look like it is something real, haven't they? So you've got Arthur Hodgkin in the kneecaps, knees up. You've got Crosby, Stills, Nash, Young, Gifted and Black. You've got the Punk Floyd with Dirt McQuickley, White Dopes on Punk. It's quite funny, really, isn't it? Then you've got the Bigamy Sisters, Nobody Does It Wetter. The California Boys, the French Beach Boys, Les California California Boys. I.J. Waxley, Forever Waxley. And then you've got Barry One, the Ringo Starr character. When you find the girl of your dreams in the arms of some Scotsman from Hull. And that one there, that is actually Ronnie Wood from The Faces and the Rolling Stones. It's quite entertaining actually looking at that. So the songs, you'll know some of these songs. Side 1 is 1962 to 1967, roughly, and then side 2 is 1967 to 1970. Red and Blue, reminiscent of the Red and Blue Beatles albums, yeah. There you've got Hold My Hand, which obviously is a bit of a take on I Want to Hold Your Hand. Number 1, which is a bit like Twist and Shout, With a Girl Like You. Now, when I first heard that, I actually did think it was the Beatles. I heard it on the radio many, many years ago and actually thought, God, is this like one of them tracks that's off a aborted album or something? Really, really good. Must Be in Love. I Must Be in Love. Again, very, very reminiscent of the Beatles. Am I rich? Am I poor? Am I happy? Am I sad? Am I in love? I must be in love. Then you've got Ouch. Brilliant song. That's like Help. Ouch, you break my heart. Ouch, 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 ouch. Living in Hope. The Ringo Starr character sings that. So that's sort of like a yellowy submarine sort of song. Love Life, which of course is basically All You Need Is Love. And then Nevertheless, which is sort of like a George Harrison Indian sort of like influence song, a bit like Within You Without You. Side 2, Good Times Roll. See how the good times roll away. Brilliant song. Double Back Alley, bit like Penny Lane. Cheese and Onions. I have always thought that the world wasn't kind. Cheese and onions. That's a bit like A Day in the Life. And there's a segment in that of that song in the film where they're taking the mickey out of the Yellow Submarine cartoon film where they actually sing that. Very, very cleverly done, really is. Another Day is a typical Paul McCartney song, basically. If you ever hear it, you'd think it was Paul McCartney. Although he did do a song called Another Day, didn't he? Piggy in the Middle. Can you guess what song that's supposed to be? I'm the Walrus. Hey diddle diddle, woo, the cat and the fiddle, do-ba-ba-doo, Bible punching heavyweight, evangelistic boxing kangaroo. Very, very cleverly done. Really is cleverly done. And then Let's Be Natural is sort of like a Dear Prudence sort of like song. So that tells you all the songs there. Right. So all the music and lyrics were composed by Neil Innes, published by Pendulum Music, recorded at Chapel Studios in London. So the musicians were guitars, keyboards and vocals was Neil Innes, guitars, keyboards and vocals, Ollie Hassel, who plays the Stig O'Hara character, I think. Then you got guitar, bass guitar, sitar, and vocals is Ricky Fata. No, that's the what. That's it. That's the one who plays the George Harrison character. Sorry. Then you got percussion and vocals is John Hansley, who plays the Barry One character or Bingo Star character. Bass is Andy Brown. Produced by Neil Innes. So you've got Dick McQuickley. Dick McQuickley, not Paul McCartney. Dick McQuickley, right? Eric Idle. Now he's in the videos for the songs miming to playing the bass because he's the Paul McCartney character. Then you've got Neil Innes as Von Nasty, who is the John Lennon character. Then you've got Ricky Fatia. He is the Stig O'Hara character stroke George Harrison. And then you've got John Housley, which is the Barry One stroke Bingo Star character. Then you've got Bianca Jagger as Martini, who is like Paul McCartney, Dirk McQuickley's love interest at one point. You've got Chastity is Gwen Taylor of Duty Free fame. The Bigamy Sisters is Cartinian West, and Penelope is Penelope Tree, whoever Penelope Tree is. Then you've got Michael Palin's in it as Eric Manchester. Archie McScam is Frank Williams. Dick James is Barry Cryer. Ron Decline is John Belushi. Yeah, so there is some like famous people in it, isn't there? I don't know. Bill Murray the K is Bill Murray. Interviewer, George Harrison. And then you get all the songs on there as well. So the lyrics to the songs. And then we'll just look at the record, and then that is going to be it for this video, I think. That was actually released on Warner Brothers. So like I say, it's 6. You get how many songs you get? You get 8 on side 1, and then you get 6 on side 2. So like I say, side 1 is Hold My Hand. Number one, do, with a girl like you to have. That's the 3rd song. I Must Be in Love is track 4. Ouch is track 5. Living in Ape is track 6. Love Life is track 7, and Nevertheless is track 8. So that is side 1. And then side 2, you get, which probably is the stronger side in all honesty, you get Good Times Roll, see how the good times roll away. Double back alley takes me back, and in my mind I see happy smiling faces if I get back home for tea. Something like that. Brilliant song. Cheese and Onions, we said. Another Day. Pig in the Middle, and then Let's Be Natural. Let's be natural. Ever since the world began, let's be natural. Every woman and every man, let's be natural. Ding, 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 ding. Now, I think this was actually re-released on CD in the early 2000s, I think it was. And obviously the film did come out on VHS in the early 80s. And I think it has come out on DVD as well. So if you ever get any chance to either get this album or the CD, I would say it is definitely a must. If you're a Beatles fan, it is definitely a must, because when you listen to the songs, you sort of like, on certain songs you'll think, how the hell did they get away with that? I don't think they'd be able to do it now because of copyrights and stuff like that. I don't think they'd be able to make something as good as this, which is so close to what it's taking the mickey out of, sort of thing. I say it's taking the mickey, it is taking the mickey, but it's done with affection, not like nastiness or anything like that. You know, I don't want to spoil it in case you've never seen the film, but just put like this: if you've watched, there was a DVD came out in, well, it wasn't a DVD, was it? It's a little bit like the anthology before the anthology came out, the Beatles anthology. So it starts like in the late 50s and then it ends in the early 1970s, which is basically what anthology didn't. And some of the clips on this are very, very close to the mark. That's all I'm going to say if you watch the film. And some of the songs are very close to the mark as well. Very, very cleverly done. And the musicianship and everything is brilliant. Yes, if you're going to be a purist, if you actually watch Eric Idle, you can actually tell that he's not really playing the bass guitar. But it's a comedy, isn't it? At the end of the day, it was never meant to be serious. But the daft thing is, in the end, they did actually go out on tour, didn't they? The Rutles. Eric Idle didn't go with them. I think they did have somebody else on bass, but they did tour, and they actually made another album as well. I think later on, like probably 20 years later, they did make another album, which was a Mickey take of Anthology, and once it called Archaeology or something like that. It was like, yeah. So yes, very, very cleverly done. I would highly recommend it. It's one of them. This is one of them albums where you can just put it on and you just makes you wonder. It's a very entertaining album to listen to. Don't get me wrong. It's like today, I don't think they'd get away with it. Not with Mr. McCartney and people like that. I think they got away with it before because John and George liked it, and I think Ringo liked it as well. To sort of like debunk the myth of the Beatles a little bit. And then again, you've got to remember in 1978, the Beatles hadn't been the Beatles for 8 years, have they? So, it's only in hindsight that, the Beatles' popularity is still going as it is today, isn't it, really? The less brilliant album, you can pick this up fairly cheaply, usually under a tenner, to be honest. If you want one that's a little bit better, if you're looking in the wild, shall we say, or even on, internet sites, make sure it has got that little booklet with it there as well. And if it's got the original in his sleeve, then that is a bonus as well. All in all, I love it. It is an album I play quite a lot, to be honest. My missus loves this. She actually thought Ouch was the Beatles. Yeah. Yeah, Bon JBC thought Ouch was actually the Beatles and not the Rutles. But having said that, if you heard it on the radio and you're not, a die-hard Beatles fan, you would actually think most of these songs, if you heard them on the radio, and you like a casual Beatles fan or you just know of the Beatles, but you know what they sound like, you would actually think most of them songs are the Beatles, in all honesty. So that's it for today. I hope that's been a bit of entertainment and a little bit of fun, because that's all this video was meant to be. As always, thank you to everybody that is subscribing and liking my videos and leaving comments. If you're new to the channel, hello and welcome. I've been doing this channel not that long. Well, I think it's about 9 months now. So it is just me, an old Beatles fanatic and record collector, just sharing some of his records. Some of them are rare, some of them aren't. That's not particularly rare, but it's just nice to have a laugh now and again, isn't it? But if you haven't seen the film, check it out on YouTube. I think you can download virtually the whole film on YouTube, or just download some of the songs. Download Cheese and Onion, Pig in the Middle, and Get Up and Go. If you listen to them 3 songs, or an Ouch, and 4 songs, then if you listen to them 4 songs, you will be amazed at how close they get to sounding like the Beatles, and even the actions and some of the ways they play in the drums, and the way they play the guitars and everything is very, very close, very, very close. They could have been a really, really good tribute band to the Beatles, to be honest. It's that that close to being real, although it's not real, if that makes sense. And as I was saying, hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to love you and leave you now. Probably won't be doing any more videos today. I did just a quick update sort of thing. On our recent trip to Liverpool, I did download a couple of like videos where we're walking around Liverpool, and I was looking through my videos on here this morning, and I thought, well, where's the one for the Albert Dock? And apparently it had been took off. Don't know why it's been took off. So I have actually put that one back on now. There's no real music as such. There's a bloke singing, John Lennon song and things like that on it. But it is not, it is a nice video, and it was a really, really nice day as well. So, if you've never been to the Royal Albert Dock in Liverpool, check that one out as well, because it only goes on for about 4 minutes, maybe 5. So, as always, thank you to everybody for supporting me in my channel. Love to you all. Keep up the good work, and remember, the 5th of November. Now, just remember, Beatles, Beatle Dave, record collecting. It's all here on this channel. So whatever you like, this is the channel for you. Thank you very much once again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me in this video. I'm sorry it's been a bit long, but I just thought, Saturday afternoon, let's have a little bit of fun. So until the next time, it's Beatle Dave saying cheerio.